Hi guys, welcome back to the Archives. I'm Tyler Apple.
And I'm Rudy Luttrell.
And we are the Mystic Mentors.
Getting pretty good at that.
So, Rudy, this weekend we went to the Gathering Gamers and we had two goals.
Yeah.
The first goal
Just got picked up by the man himself.
Heck yeah.
Alright, I hope you're ready for a long day of vlogging as we get ready to take down this tournament, Gathering of the Gamers.
Oh, I have the highs, I have the lows, but never the mediocre. We're going to have a great time.
Never the mediocre. All right.
Just arrived at Epic. Look at this building. We got the guys.
Oh yeah?
We're all ready to go. Let's go play some Magic. It's time.
We had two goals.
Yeah.
The first goal, one of us had to take the win a box to prove that we're not just a bunch of hot air.
Yes. True.
The second goal was to go around to give the vendors some exposure and network and meet some new awesome people. And I think, were we successful at both?
I'd say it was a very successful trip.
Hello, welcome to Gathering of Gamers 2023.
It's your boy. Real quick, we're just going to go ahead and say hi to the crew.
Hey guys, how we doing? Excited to be at the Gathering of the Gamers. These guys think they're going to win.
I do, in fact, think I'm going to win, but that could be my hubris.
What's up, dudes? We're just getting some practice games in before we let me get that box.
All right, we're all competing at top level for this box here. We got some shenanigans going on both sides of the table, which is fine. And now we got this goon over here behind the counter. What are you doing back there?
Messing around with my stuff, just getting some of the boxes I've pulled today put away.
All right, let's move. We got a lot of things to check out. So as we've already described, we got people fighting over here. Just come walk around. I've never used a bow before, but I am Native American, thus it is in my blood.
That's how that works, okay.
Here we go, shot number one. Ooh, second try. Should have gotten that. If I didn't, I'm sorry, Rudy. One more for the real ones. Now we have Ruben of Luttrell. Now he is an avid Bowmaster user. Let's see if those Bowmasters he uses in-game can help him here in real life.
We'll get it, we'll get it.
He was leading that one. He was pretty close.
Yeah, draw the bow.
That with your tattoo looks kind of sick.
There you go. Ooh, there we go, nice shot.
We'll just edit that in.
He went 1-3. That's a winning record.
He went 1-3.
Look at this, Battle of the Ages.
I know, right? Literally.
They're really duking it out. Got flashback here. These guys are selling games and game-affiliated products, plushies. All right, we'll come this way. We got D&D coming on over here. A whole bunch of it across the tables. We've got some 3D printed stuff around here. Like right here, this thing, look, that is the coolest. This little dude. Vampire the Masquerade. I came over here yesterday with the lady and she loved it. Just look at all these things. They got all the houses. Oh, what?
Aged cotton.
What? That's awesome. Got a bunch of specialty dice.
Dice, and that's your price.
Here we go. That's it. Oh, dang. Oh, such a high roll. I mean, if it were a skill check, I definitely passed. But you're fighting the conglomerates, the superpowers of the world to save the environment. It's actually, for how dark it is, the overall concept is pretty wholesome. Awesome. All right, let's keep going.
Oh man, check out that skull. That's pretty artistic right there. Right over there. Got some Day of the Dead art. Oh, you coming to my old home? Teaching some new blood.
What is this game?
Huh? This is Warhammer 40k, whose IP is beloved by much of the internet and YouTube, and whose creator company is almost the exact opposite as far as the attitude towards it. But the love of the game really brings people together more than anything else. Oh, it's the poster boys, the Ultramarines, the Space Marines, the 40% of 40k. And then we got the Dark Eldar. If you are a bit of a masochist, then you will like their theme quite a bit. Gene Stealer cult over here. Humans that worship what they think is a star god, but really it's just an all-devouring world alien that's convinced them. And then we got the Four-Armed Swarmlord, putting the 40 in 40k. It has more arms and blades than it has actual limbs to walk on. That's how you know it's a 40k model.
There's the squad. We're all here. Absolutely tragic. Oh, I know. Round 1.
I know, we gotta draw blood right now. It has to be the Mystic Mentor versus Mystic Mentor.
We gotta weed them out early.
Oh my gosh. No, the universe has betrayed us. And my round 1 opponent from yesterday actually showed up. Let's go. All right, I'll be back after round 1. How's it going, everybody? We're done with round... How's it going, everybody? We're done with round 1 for the tournament. 2-1 against Mono Green and this man.
Similar story, 2-0 against Mono Green. Unfortunately, it was a bit of a civil war for the Mystic Mentors, and I had to knock out our buddy Q. So we're going to the next rounds, though, and even though Q lost the first round, he can still bring it on back.
My opponent just had everything right. Both games were super close. He just ended up on top 2-0, and it sometimes it happens. But hopefully the rest of the tournament will swap around.
Back again after round 2, 2-1 against Greasefang.
Got a really favorable matchup this round. Ended up against Crackling Drakes. Deck that we thought was gone, just like we thought Phoenix was gone. Yet we found each other. It was beautiful because of all the opting we did and ruminating. However, one of us had to win. Unfortunately, it was me this time for Mr. Skinner, my opponent.
Unfortunate is a strong word for a victory, but Ty is a humble man. An absolutely miserable outcome. We have 2 more of the team, 2 more mentors versing each other in round 2. Just got done with round 4, 2-1 against Sakdos. Close games. We got another guy right here. How'd your games go?
Not so great in my favor. I got O2'd.
Well, the Mystic Mentors struggle is theme over here. Let's go take a look. How's it going, everybody? We're live from Badlands, Magic the Gathering, and Pokemon section here. We just got done with the Pioneer Win-A-Box tournament where your boy won.
Yep, you did.
And we're just going to talk a little bit about our experience here, some stuff we're just going to touch up, etc.
Yeah, I haven't played that deck in 2 months. In a brainwave last night, I was like, you know what? I'm not taking Golgari Citadel. I'm taking Is It Phoenix? Now you might say, well, that's awful. But think about it, dear audience, about what we predicted for this tournament. Rakdos midrange or Rakdos sack and Mono Green. And thanks to our teammate Q here, I was able to come up with a very targeted sideboard, which Blue-Red specializes in, to be able to swap out essentially in all my matchups anywhere from 7 to 8 cards. Just a huge amount. And it was only due to my own misplays that I did not go undefeated. Almost 2 Mystic Mentors undefeated. So instead, Mr. Luttrell and I decided to split the Win-A-Box to guarantee that team got some returns. And teamwork, baby. And we still had a really good time. My opponents were all quality gentlemen. One of them was particularly handsome. And it was totally worth the trip over. If you haven't been there, go to the Gathering of Gamers over here in Glendive, Montana.
The pairings were a little strange as we had a lot of the mentors against one another. So in round 1, Q and Ty were paired. In round 2, Logan, which is somebody else you'll see on the channel, he's he got paired up against Q, and so it was just an absolute mess for the mentors, just having to verse each other all the way up.
Stuff. I'm trying to think of anything that I could have done better, or if sequencing or anything like that, but sometimes it just doesn't roll in your favor. Kind of happened my match 2 with Mr. Logan. Greasefang just did Greasefang things, and here we are. I got a bye, and then my opponent didn't show up for the 4th match. So, kind of made out even, but I came here to play Magic. We're enjoying ourselves. Losses are rough, but you just roll through it.
P.S. Your boy won with Boris Convoke. Let's go.
Taking us into game 1, a quick summary. I unfortunately had to draw blood against one of our own. Mr. Q was on mono green, the big green mean machine, and Izzet Phoenix is actually good against that deck. Not the Phoenix itself, but Thing in the Ice is pretty good against that deck. And so I drew a couple things in the ice, both games that I beat him, and just slapped him for 7 several times, and he died. Yeah. That's an oversimplification, but it's the tempo plan that the Phoenix deck has to go for.
That's what
when
it does.
Especially game 2 and 3. And after that, I played in a strange mirror match. I didn't think I'd see it. Actually, I was hoping I'd see it.
Not quite a mirror, but it was
close. It was close to a mirror. I played against the Crackling Drake's deck, the deck that doesn't run the bad blue-red cards, as I've heard other podcasts and streamers describe it.
Yeah, and just a quick, that was, you actually played against my opponent that was 2nd place in the RCQ.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That I had gone against when I won.
Yes.
So that's, that deck, it can do it. It's kind of a scary matchup.
Yeah, that deck has some chops to it, and the player himself is a wonderful gentleman. Every time I've played against him, I've enjoyed talking with him. He plays along with the fact that Tyler likes to make jokes a lot while he's in game. So kudos to Mr. Skinner, and if he's watching this, I hope to play against you soon. Now we get to my moment of shame, Rudy. The part that that has haunted me for the past 3 days.
Round 3?
Yep, round 3, baby. Up against mono green, so same matchup, same game plan. Find Thing in the Ice, flip their board, kill them. Game 1, my opponent gets a super explosive start. Just absolutely runs out so much mana, and he was on the play, and I'm like, okay, that's mono green, it's going to happen sometimes. Sometimes they have a banger of a hand, and there's not a lot you can do. And so I was okay, well, time to side out 8 cards, bring in 8 cards. And I brought in Young Pyromancer, I brought in Disdainful Strokes, so I brought in the interaction, I brought in threats that go wide that they struggle to deal with. Going wide against mono green, as you'll see in our follow-up episode about defeating mono green, is a good strategy, as well as tempoing them out, and we had the tools to do both. I then proceed to feel that 2 o'clock, 2:30 tiredness hit me, is what I'm assuming happened, because my brain, game 3, was not functioning. He took game 1, I took game 2 with the tempo plan we described earlier against Mr. Q. Same kind of plan. And game 3, I had the tools, and I just misplayed. I completely misplayed. I over-focused. The issue with being an instinctive player, and why I am going to talk about what I learned for this tournament after this, I instinctively swing with my flipped Thing in the Ice. So my Kraken swings in. Or it's a horror, excuse me. My horror swings in. Cracks in for 7, and I'm like, I've got enough mana and everything else to bounce everything. I then review the board state after I've attacked, and I realize I've made a mistake. I've handled everything except for this one layer of the Hydra he has hiding in the back, and I knew about it, like at the start of the turn. He didn't hide anything, he told me, and as I was reviewing everything in my mana, I realized I had misplayed. And I was dead if he realized it, and he did. He swung, I died, because I was at 5, and he got me for 6 with the boat / the creature. I could handle one or the other. I needed him not to do that. And to be frank, Rudy, I give myself the excuse of being tired, and I was, but also I just didn't review the whole situation over again. I should have. I should have looked over the whole situation.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, what got you wasn't the troll or the boat, it was the land.
It was the boat in combination with the land.
Oh yeah, because
it had to be both.
On the boat with the with the land, and then okay.
Yeah. So I could have completely avoided that situation. All I had to do was not attack with the horror. So I really need to be careful about watching my instincts and review the whole situation and then listen to my instincts. Be that as it may, my opponent was a joy to play against. Austin Shock, if you see this, but play against you again, and hopefully I can break this streak that you have on me. I think I'm 1-4 against him.
I think that was my round one opponent.
Yes,
it was supposed to be my round one opponent for the day previous too, for the pre-release for the new set, but he didn't show up. He did show up, however, for the winner box.
Yes, he did.
And just as we described before, my plan was wide enough that I just got him.
Yeah. You just ran him over.
The Boros Convoke deck, I think, just goes under that deck because they'll play 2 creatures when I have 8. That's it.
Yep.
I mean, they'll try and block the stuff that matters, but Convoke it's fast.
Yes.
It's fast.
So fast. So that takes us to round 4. So round 4, we'll save for the end here, I think, Mr. Luttrell.
Yeah,
We'll save
I think that's
end here.
appropriate. That's appropriate.
And,
Okay. So should I go over my
Yeah.
rounds? Okay. Round 1, as previously described, I went against his round 3 opponent, wherein I just beat mono green by going wide, sticking to the game plan, and attacking in. Sideboard for that deck is very, very small. I throw in like maybe Rest in Peace, which I didn't think I needed because I didn't want to slow down at all. And then I threw in 2 Wear and Tear just in case he had some shenanigans, or I could. If you ever catch a Wolf Willow Haven, it's pretty good.
It is
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's some good
Because,
disruption.
Yeah, it slows them down just enough because they need to ramp from 3 to 5.
Yes,
and
they
if
do.
they don't, you have like 3 extra turns because they only run 18, 20 lands in that deck.
Yeah.
It's not a lot, and a lot of them are cutting Oath. Anyways, point is, round 1, got him, did the Convoke thing. I made big guys, or a bunch of small guys bigger, slightly, and then killed them. My round 2 opponent, round 2 was exactly what I had described in our previous video about assessing a meta,
Yep.
which was Greasefang. I got him game 1, he got me game 2 with Greasefang, and then I got him game 3. Like it was literally
Yep.
exactly what
That
we
was
had
the game
described.
plan.
Although game 3 was extremely close because he didn't Greasefang that game, and I had a handful of disruption because I put in Rest in Peace and Wear and Tear, which I think bogged down the deck a little bit, and he managed to land a Shieldred and I had to punch through it.
Oh, okay.
So it was actually incredibly close because
Yeah.
if he would have just gained like 1 more life or had 2 more draws, I don't think I win that game.
No.
So it was incredibly close, and I'm glad I managed to pull it through. My round 3 opponent was Sakdos, which is such a hard matchup for the Boros Convoke deck.
It really is.
And I was extremely fortunate that I won the die roll, got our game 1. He just got to play the Mayhem Devil and blow up my board on game 2.
Yeah.
So there's not much you can do there, because as soon as he lands the Mayhem Devil, if he has anything, your game's pretty much done. All he needs is 2 sack effects or anything like that, and it's over.
Yeah.
And then our game 3, turn 2, 15 power, kill ya.
I hear that's powerful.
It was.
I hear that gets there.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Felt good when I did it.
I'm sure. I don't doubt it.
But no, it was just too much. Overwhelmed him, and that was a wrap. Well, round 4 was interesting because had Ty have won his mono green matchup,
It was us.
we would both go into round 4 undefeated,
Yep.
thus versing each other for the win, splitting the box, etc. But what ended up happening is he lost his round 4, which means we both went up against each other.
Yeah, my
And
breakers
then-
were still strong enough that we ended up playing against each other anyway.
I ended up getting paired down and versing him anyway. So we were 1 game away from having a perfect tournament.
Yeah, we were so
We
close.
still got the desired result because as we were both in, first seed, and I think you were 4th at the
Yeah,
time.
I was 4 seed with what we decided to do.
Yeah. And then, we obviously we wanted the full win because you don't go to an event like that and not
No.
go for the full win.
Yeah.
So he ended up conceding to me in round 4, and I have to preface this because it's not that he would have lost. In fact, we played a game just to see what would have happened maybe, and he ended up winning. So just to say that, like, he would have, if he beat his mono green opponent, he probably would have taken the whole tournament. So
Yeah,
like
it was close.
we were both right there.
Yeah.
Like our parallels in that tournament were insane. We both played out of our minds, and then like obviously you lost to a misplay which I don't think
Yeah.
you'll be making that mistake again.
No, not for a long time.
And just the fact that like we got the desired result.
Yeah.
We split the box, we won, we took Gathering of the Gamers by storm, and
Yeah.
the Mystic Mentors took it home.
Yeah.
Like nothing much more to say. We got it.
No, yeah, and when you're on a team, there's no such thing that like I hate that old I hate that old age because it's cheesy and it's overdone. Like there's no I in team, but legitimately, like I was happy to give Rudy the win because I came to that tournament to learn and to see what I need to work on my game for RC Atlanta. I found exactly what I need to work on, and I was happy to concede just to guarantee that the Mystic Mentors took it, so we could come back with our results.
Yeah, because like had we have played it out and he did win, we just lose the box.
Yeah.
So like that's all that transpires when he beat me. So we took the obvious choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, a win for anyone is a win for the team, and the fact that we played so well at the tournament and our showing was great. Also, you weren't there on Saturday, but I was for the pre-release, and I also won that event.
Yes, you did.
So I walked away with so many packs, so much product, like it was crazy. Totally worth it.
Yes.
A couple of days of good old-fashioned Magic, and going undefeated 2 days in a row. It was
Pretty good feeling.
It was a great weekend.
It was. That takes us into lessons from the tournament.
Yes.
Uh,
One of the bad things are, or one of the, not necessarily bad, but it's just a consequence of victory, is that you don't learn a lot. But I think there are still some lessons to impart, which is with my deck specifically, Boros Convoke, there are some definite weaknesses that can be worked on because my sideboard was not fit for anyone who would even try and go wide. I think if I ran into a mono white humans deck, I would have lost because my sideboard did not have any, there were no Forge Devils and festivities, etc.
oh yeah.
And so a lot of my interaction was literally just attack them. There are some serious weaknesses with the deck. It was a meta call for sure.
Yes.
Because we were expecting a lot of mono green and mid-range decks, which Boros does handle very well.
Can I interrupt you there just for a second, Ruben?
Yeah.
So you say, right, it was a meta call.
Yeah.
Because we predicted the meta, we predicted it correctly, right? That's how you win these events. That's why it's not safe. If you are somebody who picks up Pro Tour decks, for example, and then people are just, after that, they'll say, like, well, the deck's not as good as it looked at the Pro Tour.
Yeah, it's because it's a targeted meta.
It's a targeted meta. There was whole teams of people trying to break that meta, figure out exactly what it is, and then beat it. We replicated that with the Mystic Mentors. We did the exact same thing.
Yep.
We looked at a weekend. We said, this is what it's going to be. This is what beats it. These are two decks that can do it.
Yep. We did our testing, etc.
Yeah.
So
his deck comes with a label warning.
it does, absolutely. I would not recommend taking that deck to like a larger tournament. I wouldn't take it to Atlanta.
No.
I don't think that's the deck I'm on for Atlanta, but it certainly was for like our targeted meta here in the Midwest. I think it was the perfect choice.
Yes.
Obviously, it got the results that I wanted, and so can't really complain too much.
I've always known I have a weakness for analysis. Ty plays a lot off of instinct, so for the instinctive players out there, don't just rely on instinct alone, because instinct's what got me the loss in my third round. I relied on instinct a little bit too much there, and instinct is great when the game is a mess and your opponent either isn't a great analyzer or you put them in a situation like Is It Phoenix can do or an off-meta deck can do, where your opponent's not comfortable. And if you're both uncomfortable, then instinct is great because it'll often guide you right more often than not. The problem is if your opponent knows what's going on and you're still relying on instinct, you can make small mistakes that will lead into big consequences. So I'm going to be working on building up my analysis game for Atlanta, and I'm going to try and take first place in Atlanta. Does that sound fair, Rudy?
Yeah,
Does that sound fair?
That sounds fair.
See, folks, he gets to win a convention in Montana, and I get to win an RC in Atlanta. I think that's a very fair trade.
I think compared to a box, $130,000 is pretty good.
It is.
I think it's about even.
It's a good exchange rate.
I don't have anything else to add on the subject. It was a great event.
It was.
Awesome weekend. Gathering of the Gamers here in the Midwest. It is a super awesome event. The people that put it on are fantastic. The booths and stuff, we've got a lot of footage of us walking around just checking stuff out. You had some hilarious Warhammer commentary.
Yes, and there were just really awesome people there too. Like we got to talk to the event organizers, talk to Chris, one of the organizers there. So next time that you guys are in the Midwest, or if you're someone from the Midwest, go ahead and check out the Gathering of Gamers in Eastern Montana next year and give them a shot. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with what they have to offer.
Yeah. Well, that's everything for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And don't forget to like, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.
See you guys.